Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alan Cousins, and today I'd like to go through and take a look at one of the newer network marketing opportunities out there, Oxygen4Energy. I am not in Oxygen4Energy. I am neither endorsing nor recommending against Oxygen4Energy. From what I've seen, Oxygen4Energy is a great company. It's actually one of the more professional and better opportunities out there right now. Just a little bit about me. I've been a network marketer since late 1997. I've seen hundreds of opportunities come and go. I've made colossal money. I've also failed miserably. I've had gigantic downlines and had companies stop manufacturing the product right in the middle of the peak of success. I've seen a ton. And there's some fundamentals that you learn after years and years of doing something. And I know that, let's see, like right now in this economy, there's so many people who are out of work. They're looking for new ways to make money. Right now, more than ever in history, there's a larger percentage of newbies trying to get into the home-based business arena, and more than ever, a higher percentage of newbies getting into network marketing, which is great. And recession is great for network marketing. However, to be hugely successful in network marketing, and I realize there's a lot of stuff out there which is just very hypey, pie in the sky stuff, testimonials from guys who make $50,000 a month and how you can do it too, and they push your buttons, your mental buttons. They push them so that they get you to take action. So the first thing I would say is that if you're looking at network marketing as an option for you, it doesn't necessarily have to be get rich. It doesn't have to be 50 grand a month. How about just, can I replace my full-time income with it? Is that possible? Right? And then we can work on the 50K per month. The truth is that there's a big difference between having a stable full-time income as a network marketer and making $50,000 or $100,000 a month. There's a big difference, and you're going to find the people who are making that type of money do have a talent. They have a specific talent for what they do. Whether that skill set can be developed or not, we're not quite sure of. But it's like any other industry. Those who are madly successful at it do tend to have a talent for it. Now, having said that, looking here at the Oxygen4Energy website, I'm not going to go through this site. I mean, you could do this on your own. But just as a person who's looked at tons and tons of opportunities, the one thing I would say is that whoever's in charge of the Oxygen4Energy site is doing everything right. It's very easy to navigate, okay? And you can see here the drop downs are all very self-explanatory. The uses for the product, athletes and endorsements. And if you look at the athletes that are endorsing this product, and by the way, if you don't know, this product is oxygen in a can. Some people are saying air in a can. It's like 95% pure oxygen, and it's pressurized, and it's set up so that you can push the button and take a few deep breaths of oxygen, and the intended purpose really is to help athletes with their recovery time and their performance, so they can get more reps, they can get more endurance, and just better performance. But there are some other uses, like helping people with hangovers and to prevent hangovers, and giving the elderly a jolt of energy, and helping with altitude sickness and things like that. Okay, but it's a very specialized market. Okay. So the first thing we're looking at is we're just looking at the site. Like, the site doesn't look like a lot of opportunities where a 12-year-old put it together. This is a very professional site. They've actually got real athletes giving testimonials here, and you can go and look at the athlete interviews where they talk about using the product as well in video, right? So there's a lot of content on this site. There's a lot of information to continue to direct people back to, and it's just very, very well done. Okay. They also provide quite a number of pieces of content here, articles and whatnot, and I actually was able to take some of the content out of some of these articles and put together some of my own content, just for the sake of of marketing. Not marketing Oxygen4Energy, but just trying to get some of the traffic that would be searching for that phrase. And so they do give you content to use as well. Now when it comes to the pay plan, as far as network marketing goes, first of all, they give you some resources here on understanding network marketing, comparing network marketing to real estate, comparing network marketing to franchising. Just these three things alone I think are brilliant, because a lot of the people that you're going to be talking to are just not going to be sure about whether network marketing is right for them. So what I see just upon initial review of what they got going here, and this is the main company replicated site, is they're doing everything right. They've got all the content that you need to handle whatever needs to be handled. Okay. Now having said that, the company replicated website isn't going to build your business for you. However, the compensation plan for this thing is pretty much a typical MLM compensation plan. It's not a plan where you're going to be able to boast, the highest percentage payouts in the industry. It's not a particularly fast earning compensation plan. It's modeled after a stable, proven MLM pay structure. And you can see example here, sponsor bonus. So there's 4 starter packages, okay? They go from 400 down to 50. Now, we know that out of every 10 people who join, 9 of them are going to be joining at the $50 level. And someone in Oxygen4Energy is going to come along and say, no, my guys joined at whatever. It's fine. That's not going to be the average. Okay. I've been in many programs that have had multiple starter package prices, and 90% of them are going to join at the lowest package. That's just the way that it is. Okay. For whatever reason, they're going to think, they'll get in, they'll try it and see what happens, whatever. So basically what you're going to be looking at is $10 sponsor bonus. So every person you sponsor, you're going to get $10, and then the person above you is going to get $2. And then when the person you sponsored someone, you're going to get $2. Not exactly blowing the doors off in terms of front-end income. Okay? But because it's an MLM structure, down the road, you're going to see percentages down various levels. Okay? Now, this is not the easiest compensation plan in the world to understand. And you can see here when they start breaking these up into bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, there's specific qualification requirements for each level. Okay? And you see here sponsoring qualification none at this level. Okay? And then sponsoring qualification for here, well, you've got to have 2 bronze in your downline. And then to be a gold, you've got to have 1 bronze and 2 silver. Okay, so it's going to incentivize you to work with your people to get them qualified. And then, of course, you see you're making 10% pretty much all the way down the line, 4 levels. So the first thing I would say about this is by the time you fill out these levels, that's a ton of people. Okay, and what you're going to need to understand about an opportunity like this is that you're going to have to stick to it. Okay, this is not something that you can just get in and expect to be making, $5,000 a month in the first 2 months. Maybe you could if you have a huge list already, or you just get massive amounts of traffic to a site or something like that. You have a huge social influence, maybe. But these are not terribly high payouts, and there's really no reason why they should be, because you're dealing with a product, and the product price has to remain competitive. It has to remain something people can afford. And when you start paying out various levels, there's just not a lot of money to go around once the product is manufactured and distributed. That happens to be one reason why I like information product opportunities, because you can pay out more. Like, for example, 2 of the opportunities that I'm in pay out 100%. So here we're looking at 10, 10, 10, 10. So we're basically looking at about 50% of the revenue getting paid out to the reps once the entire matrix is filled out. Okay. And then if you're really a rock star, you get like an extra 1% or 3% when you're like a mega rock star, right? I don't want to review the whole compensation plan here, but it's like in terms of numbers, it's not really, it's not like the greatest percentage, you see. I mean, if you look here, monthly commission $8,000, that's with a full 5 levels. It says 1,024 people here, 256 people here, 64 people here, 16 here. Okay, it's fine. It's not a lot of money, you know, for that many people. I mean, you know, I'll earn more than that with just a tiny little fraction of this many people. With, I mean, I don't, you know, 500 or so people with one of the opportunities that I'm doing. So, but it's a completely different product, and there is something to be said for product. Now, that's the one thing I like about this, is that the product is so unique. Like, I don't know of anyone else who's selling canned oxygen. Okay. Now, what you're going to run into is you're going to run into a lot of people saying, air in a can, I'm going to pay you for air in a can. I don't know. So, you're going to have to educate people. Okay. You're going to have to be willing to confront continuing to interest them and putting up with people looking at you like you're, you know, mental. Just like people said with bottled water, you know, years and years ago now, and nobody drinks from the tap. So it does have uses, a very unique product, which I like, and but what we want to know is, like, is this really going to work for you? And so there's a few things. One, you're going to need to be like a specific type of person. This an opportunity like this, you know, you're like my grandmother, for example. She would never have been able to make money doing this. She's just not the right type of person. So you have to be a certain type of person. You have to be willing to communicate. You have to be willing to listen, and all this wonderful stuff. But there's, as a network marketer and someone who's been teaching people how to make money in network marketing for many years, you know, there's a lot of things that I observe. And one of the things is that people tend to suffer from information overload when it comes to learning how to market their opportunity. And I found the best thing to do, because there's so many things you can do, is like find one thing that works for you. Okay? If you can find one thing that works for you. So I was having some trouble with my pen there. Works for you. See, because people email me all the time, even this morning, the new people joining my organization, they email me and say, what's the best way to sign, what's the fastest way to sign up people? And I have to tell them, you know, it's not, there is a best way. It's like asking me, what's the best song? You have to find something that works for you. Okay, now there's various things. Like, there's a ton of different things that you could do. There's, like, for example, YouTube pay-per-click. You may not know how to do that. That may be something that would work for you. There's various SEO strategies, search engine optimization strategies for getting found in the first search engines. And, you know, there may be a learning curve for you there. There are things like how to market on Twitter, which is a great platform. I get leads on a daily basis from Twitter. There's probably, you know, 100+ ways to market offline that are viable. Boy, there's pop under ads. And there's, you know, Facebook pay-per-click, YouTube search optimization, Craigslist, you know, and just a ton of other ways to actually generate prospects, visitors to your sites, to always have a stream of people to talk to. That's one thing we know. You're always going to have a new stream of people to talk to. There's no way of getting around that. Every day, on a daily basis, you're going to have a new group of qualified people to talk to. The problem is there's so many things to do. People get overwhelmed, and I see it on a daily basis. They get overwhelmed with all these things to do. They don't know what's right for them. They spend 50 hours trying to study stuff. They get overwhelmed, and they quit, and there's no reason for that to happen. So what I did is I put together a special package for you. And what it's going to do is it's going to help you learn how to, what are the 2 things you should be focusing on so you can get results. How do you deal with the information overload? How do you go about selecting something that's right for you? How do you go about creating presentations that'll actually convert visitors? And I'm going to go through with you about 17 different ways of marketing your Oxygen4Energy business that actually work. It's totally free, no obligation of any kind. All you have to do is just go and click the link to the next page to request access to it, and I'll just email it out to you. Go ahead and do that now. I'll see you there. Bye.